Today we will dive into the amazing sound of the German clarinet and how to reach this great dark sound that Ruben is going to demonstrate for us right now. And if you want to learn to play like Ruben on the German clarinet, make sure to join the course, The World of German Clarinet, that we've created just right now. So this is the course launch of this course. So make sure to sign up right now down in the description below. And today we'll speak about how can we achieve this amazing dark and round sound on the German clarinet that is so special and is so worth it to dive into and to even maybe consider to switch to German system clarinet to be able to experience this sound for you every single day.
Hi, thanks for having me on. So you wanted to talk about sound and I think air, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we'll speak about, in general, the sound. So what is the sound of the German system clarinet? Like what makes it unique? What makes it different from the French clarinet maybe as well? And yeah, why is it so much fun to play on a German system clarinet and experience the most
Fair.
amazing clarinet sound in the world every day? And at the same time, the German clarinet has a more, let's say, a more air-based approach. So the French system is a lot also from the embouchure and I don't know, like a little bit old school, a little bit more embouchure focused than the German system clarinet, and the German system clarinet more air and very little tension from here. So this is basically what we will speak about today, but you are the expert and you're going to guide us through this topic.
That's what I think kicked me in the face the most when I was switching from French to German, where in the beginning, of course, you're struggling with the fingerings, which we already mentioned in the first episode. And yeah, it's just later when you also find out find your material that works for you, you realize that something is not properly working. And I wasn't the type of a student when I was playing French. I wasn't the type of a student to have this like very proper air support and to learn all of the techniques. I've gotten to that much later when I already switched. And then when I realized how important that pillar is, as you call it, like 4 pillars of technique, the most important one is air support. And as soon as I realized that, a lot of things came into place. Like a lot of things just clicked for me. And as you said, this is like a very air-based approach to the sound. So you just have to like just blow through the instrument. And the more you do it, the more relaxed you are here and the more like intense. And at the same time, I think kind of like free you are with this air. Free air creates a free tone. The more fun it is to produce the sound. So it's like your legato starts working better, and all of the technical stuff, like the ranges, the dynamics, the colors, flexibility, all of that is based on your air support. So maybe we can start with that. I think with like some air support, air flow exercises, if you don't mind. So on
I
the
think
course,
so.
I have
Yeah.
2 modules that cover exercises without instruments and without instrument and with the instrument. And what I do without the instrument is this became my daily routine now, based on a book that I mentioned in the course. So there's a few exercises that you can do to just kind of warm yourself up and activate all of this machine of breathing, and that makes your playing way easier. It's actually life changing. I do this before every show or concert or just practice session or whatever, like just to get into this like mode of blowing the air, because as you know, the way we breathe normally has almost nothing to do with how we have to breathe when we play an instrument. But at the same time, since it's a wind instrument, of course, the most important thing is air. So should I show you a couple of exercises that we can do together?
Yeah, let's start. Let's start with your most favorite one.
Okay. Oh, sure. Okay. So
Like, which one do you do the most? Which one do you do like every day? You don't start practicing without it.
okay, I think it's two of them, and I think it's the combination like of those two exercises that makes it so powerful. One of them is like the gentle breath. So you just inhale very slowly and fully, and then I hope you can hear this like little airflow. It's pretty consistent. That's one of the important things about it. And the second, it's like it's tiny, but it's fast. So it's fast air. It's not super like relaxed. It's just it's kind of precise, as if you would like to blow on the small piece of paper 20 meters away. And like your air has to slowly reach it, you know? So, and you keep it until you're completely empty and you have no air to breathe out.
Do
And
you
then,
bundle the lips, the air with your lips? So a lip-based approach to bundling the air, or rather with the tongue? Or is it a combination of both?
I think mostly with the lips, but I just do the lips because of I want a bit more resistance, because I don't
Yeah,
do anything if you don't form them, you just, but I
yeah,
just
yeah.
want a little bit of resistance, kind of close to whatever we have here. So, and you just blow out. And I think I've gotten to like, let's say 90 seconds, like 80, 90 seconds of just this
Mm.
consistent, very, very slow, or sorry, fast air, but like this very gentle out breath. So you can control it with the timer, and you just sit down, and I'm trying to relax when I'm doing this. This very gentle out breath. And the second thing is that you breathe in and you hold. And the way you hold is that I'm really trying to not get tense, not here and not there, not anywhere. So you just kind of enjoy this presence of like holding the air. And yeah, if you can we try it for a second? I know it's gonna get quiet for the video, but like just if
And
you
you breathe in through the nose or through the mouth?
depends. I normally through the nose, just because it's a bit more controlled and slower. And then you can do this for like, let's say 60 to 90 seconds, maybe up to 2 minutes sometimes, just because it's so nice to like, it calms me down also at the same
It
time.
calms a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely helping. And what I feel like is what we neglect a lot is this part of holding the air. I think we talked about this on our podcast recently. So we know about, like, we work a lot on breathing out and breathing in, but this holding part sometimes is very useful also musically. Do you have any kind of a cool musical example to show where you would hold the air before blowing out?
Before blowing out, I think also in the middle of phrases, to be honest.
Okay.
So I would like, um, first of all, before starting, no? So, and then without taking an extra breath to hold it. Da, 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 and to continue with a relaxed way, not a tense way, but I don't know.
Fair. Yeah.
But in the middle of phrases and before beginnings of lyrical stuff, I'd say.
Yeah. I think one of the ways that I use it is when we play the ballet Giselle from Adolphe Adam. There's this famous clarinet solo in the second act. So, and I would hold like for just a tiny bit before I enter. And then it just goes on. But like in the beginning, 1, 2, hold, enter, and not just breathe in for three measures, or like three. Yeah. So that's one of the ways to use it. But at the same time, just holding the air, I think, as an exercise before you start practicing, it gives you this, it gets you in touch with whatever's going on over here. Because we're very passive after we slept or after we haven't practiced for a while. So like you have to get a bit more active. And holding the breath, I think, is one of the exercises that kind of feels good, and it activates all of this. Another very cool exercise that I like a lot. It looks very weird when you do it, but it's like it's a jump start for your breathing, which is this deep panting breath. So you breathe in fully. I do the kind of a combination between mouth and nose. So like, oh, like something like this. So I start with the nose and continue with the mouth, and then breathe out everything very quickly. And then you repeat this as fast as you can. So it looks something like this. And then you continue this for like, let's say 20 seconds. If you get dizzy, please sit down.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to faint from this, but it can, yeah, you can definitely feel like your blood flow being, what the hell is going on? So just, yeah. And this is a jump start for your breathing. And then you feel that you're already way more activated, and you calm yourself down with the first two exercises I showed. And there's a lot more that I teach in the course.
Yeah. And if you don't master all of these basically air-based approach exercises, you will stay behind, you will be left behind on the German clarinet, because the German clarinet, it only works if you have an air-focused approach, right? And for this, you will need tons of exercises and tons of ideas how to practice this air-based approach. So therefore, we have a little discount for you, which is cool. During this launch, you get 30% off if you use the coupon code German. Okay, so enter the coupon code German at checkout right now. The link is down in the description below, and the link is also in the first pinned comment. And then you will get instant access to the course, and you can go basically straight into learning about the German clarinet, and then also knowing which one to buy and how to get started with this whole thing. So this is a one in the entire internet sort of thing. So this type of course hasn't been filmed yet. Okay, so we've been living in a world full of videos since a long time, since like 50 years, and no one until now filmed a course to change from French system to German system. So this is basically little thing that clarinetmasterclass.com solves now. We filmed this course, we've put the effort in, the over 100 hours of effort are in this course, and you will get instant access to it in just a couple seconds if you sign up right now. You will
And
also get
also,
access. Yeah, sorry.
but very important. This course provides a lot of value for people who are not only interested in switching, or maybe not, but for every type of clarinetist. There's a lot of educational books and value and tips and exercises and all of the things that I gathered for the last 15 years with experience. So I think this will be useful for everyone, but it's definitely one of a kind if you're planning on switching, just like I did 8 years ago. But sorry.
Exactly. And won a position, and you can earn your money now as a musician. You are a professional musician, and you made it happen. So that's something that can happen as well to you if you join the course and you consider switching to German system clarinet, and you might be able to find a job in a high quality orchestra and make the dream a reality. So yeah, that's something that might happen. But not only you will get this course, you will also get Angel Martin Mora's full course about how to win auditions. So this might be a good addition to basically winning an audition in Germany. If you know how to win auditions in general, then you will get my entire course on clarinet technique basics to get all of your clarinet technique basics right, to get complete control over the clarinet. So it's basically an all-rounder solution that will just take you from here to here very quickly. And it's, in my opinion, a no-brainer for every intermediate clarinetist out there. So if you're intermediate clarinetist, like intermediate means minimum 3 or 4 years of playing already, go join. Self-identify yourself. If you've played 3 or 4 years with just 10 minutes a day, you're probably not there yet. But if you played for 2 years, every day 2 hours, you're probably already intermediate. Exactly. So just think, are you intermediate? Are you not? It's also for advanced clarinetists. So it's something there for everyone, but it's not for beginners. So if you're a beginner, you will be a little bit overwhelmed with the topics yet. Cool. So into sound, hit us with another exercise, Ruben.
Oof. Okay, sound exercises. I mean, what is the most important thing when we think about sound? It's, well, two things. For me, it's imagining the sound that I want to create, because the more we train, the more we practice, the more you know this feeling definitely. Like if you don't imagine what you want to hear, then your body is not going to adjust properly to produce this, right? So one thing is to imagine before before you produce the sound, and the second thing is to react and adapt to whatever is going on. So, for example, we take this phrase that I just played from Giselle, the ballet. I'm thinking of this first tone, this. So how does it feel? What dynamic do I want to produce it in? And maybe not direct enough. Okay, one more time. Okay, maybe better. Okay, now maybe I want to play it in a bit of a more present dynamic. So I imagine that. Something like this. And this is a very important thing for me to just to imagine what's going to happen. And also that applies a lot for something more delicate or difficult. Like, let's say, the second movement of Brahms' trio. So this high C3 that we talked about in the fingerings episode. This phrase, right? So just this high C3, I have to hear it first before I produce the sound. And so I think that'll be one of the things to practice that a lot of people don't do really consciously. They just pray and spray. They just hope that something's gonna happen. But I think the more aware and in tune you are with your ear of what you want to produce, the more your body will adapt to deliver. That's one thing. And the second thing is there's a lot of vocalization exercises. So on the lower register, it would be something like. So you go through like chromatically through like, let's say, 5 tones, and you think of the connection between those two notes, between all of those, and also of the sound. So I always try to think of the center of the sound while I'm listening to it. So, not really. One more time. And you try to find it, and when as soon as you hit it and you're pleased with whatever you're hearing, I try to memorize it. How does it feel? What is it like? So you react, and you're pretty aware of what is going on while you're playing. On the higher register, do you know this exercise when you're connecting the notes? Right? So
Yeah, literally one of my favorite exercises.
It's a great legato
Yeah.
exercise first, right? But at the same time, it's also a sound exercise, because so I'm listening to the first tone in my ear. I imagine what I want it to sound like. And then as soon as the next tone appears, I'm reacting and I'm trying to figure it out. And the slower you do it, the more time you have to adjust. And then as soon as you find the note, the power of it, and the core that pleases you, you try to memorize what it sounds like. And I think the more you do it, the more you adjust and calibrate it. Later, you don't have to think about it as much. So the point of the exercise is to be very in tune in a very slow manner. And then later on, when you're faster and you don't pay as much attention, it's just already automatically there.
Yeah.
That'll be, I think, one of, it's one of your most favorite exercises. So,
yeah, I love it as well for intonation. So it's like to perfect relative pitch, basically to not only think about green on the tuner, but to have like one note and the second has a certain feeling of the distance towards this bass note, then the major second has a certain feeling of a distance, the minor third, the major third, the fourth, and then the augmented fourth, which is very close to the fifth, like wants to go to the fifth, like where the notes want to resolve. It's an excellent exercise to get the subconscious feeling for intonation. Because subconsciously we will start to do it right. We will start to feel where the note wants to go in relation to the bass note.
Definitely. And also, one of the exercises would be to connect like let's take an arpeggio in G major. Oh, yeah, there we go. By the way, what I did just now is I accidentally clicked my octave key, so don't do that. And if you play it in different dynamics and with different feelings, but with a very stable airflow, I like to work on my sound in those ways, just like on basic exercises. So you don't pay attention to the fingers or something. It's just get into this feeling of how the instrument responds, how the reed respond, and yeah.
I also don't get the obsession of I need a new etude for air. I need a new this for air. Like why do we need a new exercise? We can just observe. Like it's just about, like, if you do it on different notes, okay, you do it on different notes, but in essence it's much more about observing the feeling that you want to train at the moment than which notes you're doing it on.
Fair.
And I feel like a new etude is just different notes to do the same thing on.
Yeah. I think you can take a piece of music and practice all of the necessary things with almost anything. Even if you just come up with your own exercises, like let's say you just do okay, maybe the connection wasn't the best, so let's try again. Just like 3 simple notes, and you can already practice so much. And then later, if you take any piece of music, like you just develop on that, on whatever you practice on the first 3 notes. So if you can apply a principle on something that's almost not musical and make it musical, then you can definitely do it with a piece of music that's actually like way more interesting to play. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
What would be your
One more question, like
go for it.
what is because this is one that not many people usually know what the teacher is speaking about. If the teacher says like use more air support, then it's like what
Fair.
is air support? Like what is air support for you?
Okay. One of the best and quickest ways to check how much air you're using is, for example, if we take the G2, second octave, I hope you can hear the difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something like this with my air. Okay, so I'm going to be like kind of slow in the beginning, and then I'm going to speed it up artificially, like by kind of squeezing the air out of me. And then I would stay on the last one. So you test this, like, on those sound levels, and then you stay on the higher one. So you continue on this very high and fast air. Can you hear the difference?
Yeah.
When I'm playing?
So you can hear the pulses.
Yeah. The pulse, and then you stay on the in the last moment you stay on this very fast air. So you just force yourself to be like, actually, if you just do this with me for a second, like,
no, this was bad. Well, one more time. And then you stay, right?
Exactly that. Yeah. So, and then you stay at the end on this faster air. You will notice that the note, so it activates you, and the notes later get this roundness to them. And that's also one of the things that will improve your legato later on if you just continue with that fast air. Fast doesn't necessarily mean more, like you don't open up this vessel, but you just you're a bit faster. What I also like to think about is that I like to think about my bell, and that I want to reach the bell of my instrument with my air. So it doesn't just stay here, like right next to my mouthpiece, but it just goes all the way to the bell. So, and
Yeah.
whenever I'm trying to teach this air support thing, which is very confusing in the beginning because you don't know where to start, I'm just sometimes I make my students just put the hands on their belly, and when they do, just to see how their hand reacts,
Mhm.
and then try to do that with the instrument, with any kind of a note. And this tone later, when you stay on this air, it's way more present, it's way more round, and it's kind of, it has way more projection to it as well. So just if you do this on one note and try to stay in that mode and not the first one. So if you try to play a phrase and not, like with this
Yeah, we
very,
stagnate.
yeah. So, and the quickest way to check it is just to do, and then you see how much more you can give. So
Yeah, actually, I have one really similar exercise to this one on Clarinet Masterclass itself. So there's like one section as well with my stuff if you're interested. But anyways, go sign up. Don't forget. So there's this exercise which is pretty similar what you just described, just a little bit less active. So where you get direction to the air with pulses of like triplets. I really love this one. Like it's so much better than, which is such an embouchure focused way of playing. But by the way, if you think I sound a little bit like the same tone color like Ruben, it's because I also have a German bore inside my instrument. So if you want to sound like us too, then you need a German system clarinet and the course, the world of German system clarinet. Amazing. Yeah. So one last exercise, short one.
Okay. Let me think. Yeah, I think long tones is very underrated. And I think just for a reason that it's boring. And as you said, like if you make it embouchure based, then if you just become tense and you don't really know what you're working on, and it's just, it's boring and it's annoying, and that's why a lot of people neglect long tones. I think the thing that solved long tones for me was to create a story out of it. So not only you try to do this typical thing with like, you start very, very softly and then you gradually go until it's like louder than it's comfortable, and then you go again to the softer dynamic. But also I try to play a little bit with my air and with the approach. So for example, it's not just like a ooh, ooh, and then again in the softer, but also like a ooh, right? Like it makes it so much more interesting, as if you would play something like a but you just stay on one note. So
Yeah.
try to be musical with a single note as well. So and what happens is that not only you work on this note, which didn't really sound that good for now, but you tend to escape from this embouchure-based playing, and you don't get tense because you're focused on this musicality, which will be the most important thing anyways afterwards when you're playing a piece of music, because you don't just want to play note after note with with tense embouchure. So try to create like a story out of it, and that becomes way more interesting. And also, of course, now I'm showing it kind of quickly. I would go into the tiniest extremes of sound, like from the very, very like 7 pianos to like insane forte, and see where the sound cracks or squeaks or something, and just check, your range with all of this. So I hope this makes sense. Long tones are underrated. They're not boring.
Yeah, absolutely. and long tones, just not da, not one static note, but in a musical way like this every day of the week and twice on Sundays, right? Awesome.
Correct.
So don't forget to join clarinetmasterclass.com. It's a full program for intermediate clarinetists like you that doesn't exist anywhere else, and it's literally a no-brainer to join, because like if you like, let's say you join monthly, you get like 12 times the value of what you pay. So basically just go check it out. The link is down in the description below. You get access to famous master classes with famous clarinetists every month, live workshops together with me about clarinet technique topics, practice challenges in a community of also intermediate clarinetists. So if you feel yourself stuck alone in the practice room many times, so this is a problem this solves for you. There's amazing course material on there, which you will get instant access to. Okay. Most members join yearly, so make sure that you do too, so that you get the most bang for the buck. And don't forget to enter the coupon code German at the checkout right now. Go to the link down in the description below. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Have fun.